Welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. In the last episode, we built a couple of PCs to start clearing out my used part inventory. I've got tons and tons of used parts in my inventory. I'm trying to clear them out, and selling things on PCBay is a great way to make some extra money and get rid of those used parts. So if you missed the last episode, I'll put a link up in the upper right hand corner. You can go check that episode out. In this episode, we're going to continue clearing out my used part inventory. I've got two cases sitting on two different workbenches there. We're going to build two more systems and get those listed on PCBay. Probably in the next episode, we're going to build even more because I want to get some of this stuff gone. And then eventually we'll start ending our day and see what these things end up auctioning off for. So let's get started. Over here, we've got this NZXT H210i in black and white. And I've got some small motherboards that should fit this case in my inventory. Hopefully we've got other stuff that goes along with those motherboards. I guess we'll find out. If we have to order anything, I've got 165 grand in my account. I think we can order whatever we need. Well, let's take a look. Let me do fits this PC. So we've got an Asus X570 and we've got a Z370 also from Asus. I'm pretty sure I've got some AMD CPUs that'll fit this X570 board, so let's go for that in this build. We'll have to figure out what kind of graphics card and other things we want to put in here, but at least let's do AMD CPU. I'm also going to get this thing ready for some RAM. I don't know if we've got an M.2 drive that'll fit this, but we're going to find out here in a minute. So we've got a 3900X or a 3800X. I think this 3800X would be perfect. So let's get that installed. And then we need some RAM. And I have so much RAM. Let's see if I've got any 3600 megahertz stuff. I sure don't. Let's do a search by frequency and let's say a minimum of 3000. So at least we're not looking at the super low end stuff. We've got some 3200. Let me go through this. This list is pretty long. Let me see what I have that I think will work. And once I find something, I'll come right back. All right, let's go for this HyperX Fury 16 gig 3200 megahertz. That'll be real nice. 16 gig stick. That'll be perfect for this build. Then let's see if we happen to have an M.2 that'll fit. Oh, here's one right here. Here's a gigabyte. We've got a Patriot. All kind of stuff will fit this. All kinds of stuff. Let me go with one of those gigabyte. Yeah, let's go back up here. I think I've got a couple of these. These gigabyte Aorus, because there's another one. Let's do one of these. Where's this thing go? Is it going on? Where the heck is that? That must be on the back side of the motherboard. Okay, there it is. I wasn't sure where that was being installed. Let's see. And then we've got a fan in the top, a fan in the back, and we've got no fans in the front. Now, I don't know. I've had problems with some of these smaller cases with getting AIO in there. So let me get some thermal paste on here. And let's see if we happen to have an AIO that might fit. Let's see. If not, we're just going to go air-cooled. It's not a big deal. Here's a Silverstone. I've got fits this PC checked, so, I mean, that should fit. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I thought. Usually it makes me take out this little cover panel. And, well, I kind of like the way that looks. I don't understand why the game won't automatically route the tubing behind this cover panel. There should be plenty of room. I mean, look at how much room is back behind that. Well, air cooling it is, and then we should put some fresh fans up in the front. Let's see what we've got for air cooling. I want something nice and powerful, maybe a dual fan. Let's see. Ugh, green. I want green. Not in this build. This red would be nice, though. This red would work. Oh, yeah. Red and white? Perfect. Perfect. So I think these are NZXT fans. They are. Here they are, NZXT fans. I don't know if I have any of those. I do. I've got some 120s. So let's grab a couple of those. Will they not install up here in the front? Oh, there we go. That was weird. Are they going the wrong way? I'm pretty sure those are exhausting. What? What the heck? Those went in like exhaust fans. I can promise you they're gonna spin this way. Huh. Okay. Well, we're gonna have some major negative case pressure in this one, but you know, we're selling it on PCBay, so whoever gets it, they need to check it out and make sure it works, right? I mean, you don't buy a used PC and then just plug it in and go, oh well, hope everything works. All right, let's see if we can find a power supply and a graphics card for this sucker. Let's see, 750 watts. That would work. Man, I got a bunch of these Gigabyte Aorus 750s. Let's get rid of some of those. Let's put one of those right in here. I think that'll be just fine. And then we need a graphics card for this build. So let's find something decent, hopefully. Hopefully I've got something decent in here. There's a 1080 Mini, which wouldn't be too bad of a choice. There's a 2060. Let's go for this EVGA RTX 2070 Super. Will that fit? Oh, it won't fit. Oh, that's right. It's a 3-slot card. Why does it say it fits? I have fits this PC checked, and it's telling me that a 3-slot card will fit this case that only has 2 available slots. But what about this MSI 1080 Ti Gaming? Oh, yeah. I think that'll be just fine. This will be a nice little rig. All right, let me get some of these case parts put back on. And then we're going to cable this bad boy up. And see if everything works. I didn't take anything off the top. Perfect. Cables. Do I have some white and red? I do. I do. Let's go for these. We get everything cabled up. Right now our resale value is sitting at $725, so I'm hoping that will go up after this thing powers on, and then after we run 3D Mark and maybe even overclock some of this. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right. Did we not have a removable? Oh no, it's still on there. There we go. PCI lock. So it's all locked in. I don't know if there's anything on the M.2 drive we put in. So let me get a USB drive in there. I'm going to hop into the BIOS real quick because I want to make sure we don't need to turn on XMP. So it's already sitting at 3200 megahertz. I think this is all good. Let's go ahead and let this thing restart. There we go. How's our colors looking? Actually not bad. Actually not bad. I'm still going to go ahead and throw the lighting app on. Let's put 3D Mark on there. GPU tuner, maybe. There we go. And OCCT. Alright, so we're up to $825 just because this sucker booted up. But we need to run 3D Mark as well as change some lights. Let's do this and this. Oh no, I wanted white, not red. Let's see what white looks like. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to get 3D Mark running, and as soon as it's done, I'll come right back and show you the score. All right, so we got an 8,518. Not the best score in the world, but not the worst. I do think if we overclocked some of this stuff, we could get a much better score and probably a higher resale value. We're sitting at a little over $2,000, which is definitely an upgrade from the 830 something I want to say it was previously. But I think a little bit of overclocking could get us even more money. So I'm going to step away. I'm going to get everything overclocked, and as soon as I'm done, I'll come back, I'll show you guys all the overclocks, and then we'll run 3D Mark and see what the price finally goes up to. All right, everything's overclocked. If you look at our max temps, everything's running really hot. 91.53C on the CPU and 95.43 on the GPU, but nothing's throttling, and we're pulling almost 600 watts. So I'm glad we put a 750 watt power supply in there. As you can see down here, the CPU has been overclocked to 4,550 megahertz, which is 50 megahertz over the stock base clocks. It is what it is. There's just not a whole lot of cooling there, so it wasn't able to overclock all that great, but that's all right. The graphics card overclocked quite well. We're at plus 418 megahertz on the core and plus 600 megahertz on the memory. So we're good to go. Let's stop this and turn it off. Let's close this out. I'm going to get 3D Mark running, and as soon as I have a score, if this thing decides to blue screen or whatever, I will come back and show you. All right, 11,300. Our first test was an 8,518, so that's quite the increase from our overclock. Let's see what this thing has gone up to in its worth. Not a whole lot. We went from $2,036 to $2,275, so not a huge increase, but a little something for the work of overclocking. All right, let's get the side panel put on here, because this is done. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Let's take a look at this sucker without the UI in the way. I think it turned out pretty nice. Pretty nice, except for these front fans that are, for whatever reason, exhausting air out the front. There is seriously not a single intake fan. Every single one of these fans, all four of them are exhaust fans. So I'm not really sure where cool air would come into this system from, but man, I bet it would run pretty hot. Bet it would run pretty dang hot. So let's grab a PCBay sticker. We'll get that put there. And then let's build a PC in this case. This was actually a case from, or I guess I purchased it to do a build-in or an email job. There was a build for an email job. And if you take these little panels out, I was going to put a 360 radiator in the front of this. You take these little panels out of this fractal design case, you can't turn the job in because it says that it's missing parts. So I scrapped it, got another case, put the whole build into another case. So now we're left with this case. We're probably going to air cool this or something so we don't run into that problem. Let's see. Let's get this opened up. It will need some fans in the front, so we'll figure out what to do about that. We'll put a fan in the back, obviously. So let's start with that. Let's see, do we have any fractal design fans? We do. Got a couple of, I don't know, a 140 won't fit in the back, but a 140, let's see, we can fit two 140s in the front, so let's start with that. These are probably the fans I took out of this case originally. And then let's see, do we have a 120? We do. Here's a 120. Like I said, these are probably the exact fans that I took out of this case. All right, now we need a motherboard. We need a motherboard, and I was going to do an X299 build in here, because those usually do pretty good with just air cooling. They don't overclock that great. So this case is a prime candidate for that. And I've got this Asus TUF X299 Mark 1. Oh yeah. That looks good in here. That looks quite good. Let me get this thing ready for a CPU and some RAM. There we go. I don't think I have enough to do quad channel RAM in this. So we're probably just going to do 2 sticks of RAM, because I know I've got 2 that match. We'll probably just do 2 sticks of RAM in here. Maybe if I have 4. If I can find 4, we'll do quad channel. But let's grab a CPU. We've got an i7-7800X, which is a 6-core 12-thread. We've got a 7960X, which is a 16-core 32-thread. And we've got an i9-9980XE, which is an 18-core 36-thread. I think I want to save the 9980XE for another build. And since this is kind of a lower-end X299 build, maybe let's get this 7800X out of the inventory. We'll save the 2 i9s for something a little bit, maybe water-cooled or something. Like I said, I'm just trying to get stuff out of the inventory and up for sale on PCBay. There we go. Let's see what we have for RAM. Let's see what we have. Do we have any matching RAM of any speed? Any speed. Like even 3000 megahertz would work. Oh, look, we've got... Oh, that's a 4 gig. That won't work. I was going to say we could do a black and white. I don't want to mix 8 gig and 4 gig. Man, nothing, huh? All right, let me look through the RAM, because there's a good bit here. And when I find something that's going to work, I'll come right back. Okay, so I've got 2 sticks of this Team Group T-Force Dark 16 gig, 2800 megahertz. I think that'll work just fine. And it'll look pretty good in here too, because this motherboard's got a little bit of white on it. So yeah, I think that'll be just fine in here. Wish I had 4 sticks of it, but two will get the job done. 2 will get the job done just fine. Now, for cooling. I don't know what I've got for cooling. This may be another air-cooled build. We'll have to figure it out here. Let's take a look. CPU cooling, I mean, I really don't want to use a 120. I just don't think that's going to cut it for this. I've got a 240 because we didn't use that in the other build, but it would have to mount up in the top. It would have to mount in the top. We can take a look and see. Will it mount up? Oh, it might. It might. Let's take the top of this. Good Lord, so many pieces to the top of this case. 2 filters. That seems unnecessary. I think that's going to work. Okay. But because I've had issues with this case in the past, I just want to make sure that all the filters mount back on here before I go any further. Okay. Okay, that seemed to work. Okay, I think that's going to work just fine. Now, let's see what we have for storage. We also need a power supply, but let's see what we have for storage. I think I just want to use a standard SSD. Here's a 2 terabyte Kingston one. Is there mounting back? There is. That thing's only worth $37. That's what it says right here. $37. Well, that's underwhelming, to say the least. Okay. I don't know if we're going to mount 2 graphics cards in here. So I don't even know if we've got... I know we've got 2 matching graphics cards, but I think they're like 2080 Ti. Yeah, these... Got a 3090. That seems a bit of an overkill. 2080 Ti amp. That might work. That might work. Let's take a look at power supplies first. Let's see what we've got. We've got a Silverstone 850. That could work. We've got another Gigabyte 750 watt. I don't know how many of those I've had. I think way too many. Way too many. We've got this Antec 850. That'd be a good power supply. Let's mount that in here. Man, I keep thinking about that 2080 Ti. That would be a good... That'd be a good graphics card for this. Where'd it go? Or even this 2080 Super. That wouldn't be bad either. I was thinking about this Zotac Gaming RTX 2080 Ti amp. Let's do it. Will it fit? It will. It will. That's a dang nice build. I wouldn't mind having that on my desk. Let me get a couple of these case parts put back on here, just so I don't forget. I think everything's gonna work and I can get this case out of my inventory. So we just need a cable, and to be quite honest with this build, I think some black cables would look the best. Just some classic black cables. Yeah. That's nice. So we're up to $890 resale value. I think that's pretty dang good, but it could definitely be better. So let me get this case all put back together. I'm going to get a USB drive put in here and power this sucker up. Hop into the BIOS real quick. I doubt XMP needs to be turned on, but you never know. Oh, it did something. It did something. I'm also not going to overclock this CPU. I just don't think it's worth it, but I am probably going to overclock the graphics card. So let me go ahead and boot into the operating system. It may need to install it on this SSD. Oh good, it's not the slowest SSD ever. We may want to change colors. There's not a whole lot going on there, so let me put the lighting app on. Definitely 3D mark. There we go. GPU tuner. And we will get OCCT on there as well. No, not yet. There we go. Then just like the other one, we will probably run a preliminary... Oh, we're up to $990. There we go. We'll probably run a preliminary 3D mark test just to see, and then we'll overclock the graphics card just for fun because it doesn't seem to add a whole lot, but it adds something. So let me get 3D mark up and running. As soon as I've got a score, I will come right back and show you. There you go, 10,351. Not too bad of a score, actually. Graphics score was excellent. CPU score, it's a little underwhelming, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. As for the price, let's take a look. We're up to $2,770. That's not a bad price either. But let's see what a little bit of graphics card overclocking can get us. I'm going to step away. I'm going to get this graphics card overclocked, and I will be right back. All right. So it's all overclocked. All done. I know I said I wasn't going to overclock the CPU, but I couldn't resist. I really couldn't go very far. I got 4100 megahertz at 4200 megahertz. It hard crashed. Didn't matter what I did. More power, less power. It just got way too hot. It'd go up to like 90 something C and then just blue screen. So it is what it is. 4100 megahertz. All we're going to get. Graphics card overclocked pretty good though. We're at plus 328 megahertz on the core and plus 100 on the memory. Everything's running hot as hell. CPU's at 86, almost 87 C, and the GPU is at, well, you can see right there, 95.34 C. Pulling 671 watts. So there you go. There you go. Let's turn this off. Let's close this out. Let's close this out. What were we at here? 2,770. Let's see if it goes up at all. Anything exciting. I'm going to get 3D mark running. Same with the last one. If this one blue screens, or if it makes it all the way to the end, I will come right back and show you. All right, 12,126. We had 10,351 the first time we ran it. Not bad. CPU still underwhelming. Graphics score definitely improved, so that is very nice. Let's go ahead and close that out. I did change colors. I just made this that was green match this. Those are really the only colors we had to even mess with. Resale value didn't change. Didn't change. Nothing. Nothing at all. Well, let's take a look at this real quick. I think it turned out pretty nice. No RGB to speak of, but, you know, sometimes it's not about the RGB. Sometimes it's about how good it works. And that would definitely be a good editing rig or something for somebody. Let's get this thing listed on PCBay. In the next episode, we will probably end the day because we have 4 PCs now listed on PCBay. We'll probably end the day and see what they start working their way up to. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified as soon as a video goes live. Also, if you want to help support me and my channel, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. Or if you want to become a channel member, there is a join button right next to the subscribe button. So after you subscribe, you can hit join. I have a couple of different tiers there, and it would help me out greatly. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next episode.